I am so excited to dive into yet another epic Rebel Radio conversation with my new friend, Chris. Chris and I have never met, so we're going to dive into unity consciousness, numerology, what the world is doing, wealth, all of the fun things that we talk about at Rebel Radio. Welcome to the show, Chris. I'm so glad you're here today.
Oh, thanks so much, Cindy. Yeah, I mean, literally, we met 6 minutes ago, and you already know everything about me from that reading. So let's share it.
Yeah, so let's share a little bit about who Chris is. So I did share some numerology before we went live. So what was your biggest, oh my God, how do you know everything about me moment?
Oh my, yeah. Well, everything, but the first one was when you talked about as a kid picking up, being very, very empathic and picking up on everybody's energy. Yeah. And, I got to a point when I was in elementary school that I would be crying at the drop of a hat, picking up on the energy, just super sensitive to the point where I thought there was something wrong with me. And I actually convinced my parents that I needed therapy. So in elementary school, I was hitting therapy and psychology and trying to figure out why I was so sensitive, because I lived in a very blue collar, man up town out east, south of Boston, a town called Brockton in the States here. And it was extremely challenging for the first, through junior high, until I decided I'm going to man up and I'm going to put these masks on and put these layers on and become something that I think the masculine world needs. And till it didn't work any longer in my late 20s. And then it was the tear down of what I put up in the persona of what I was. And, the journey to myself, the journey to my soul, the journey to my authentic way of being and my path that I should be on. So that was the beginning in a nutshell, pretty much nailed. So
I love it. I love it. And you've had quite the journey. I mean, I read your bio. You do a lot of things because you are always on the move. So who is Chris today?
Well, I am a coach. I work with businesses, organizations. I work with individuals, running retreats, just really helping people work on all areas of their life. I'm a firm believer. It's not just let's work on our spirituality or let's work on our health and wellness. It's a full circle. I believe there's five different elements in our life. It's the spiritual, it's the physical, it's the professional, personal, and financial, because of our relationship with all those. And when we can spin those all in a beautiful wheel, we're going to have this nice balanced life. Not to say that some things don't come out of balance at some points, but it's just being aware of them. And I get to work with people to work towards what they want in life, as opposed to working on what they don't want. And when we can get clear and put our goals and our who we want to be, so to speak, on top of that mountain, then we get to work and have this beautiful journey and fall in love with this journey of life that we're on. So
yeah, you are speaking my language, my friend. I love those 5 pieces. That's something very similar to what I teach, what I call the wheel of wealth. And we can't have wealth if we don't have balance in all of those areas. It's not just about the money. It's not just about the relationships.
Right.
It's all encompassing. I love that. It's like that holistic view. Excellent.
That's right.
So who do you serve the most? Who is your, ideal client, I suppose?
It really varies. I guess it's like seasons. It goes in seasons, and I can't say in spring I work with this person or that person. In the fall I was working with a whole bunch of CEOs, and we're at a retreat and working with them, doing breath work and really opening them up into a new way of leadership. Now I'm working with a bunch of individuals to help them find their next career, their next mountain in life, to really say, okay, I'm in this river. It's not serving me anymore, but I want to be in that river over there. Let's look at the resistance. Let's really meet it and know that this resistance is here to make me stronger. And let's pick up our canoes and walk over to this next river so that we can just gently paddle down the stream the way life should be. So, but it's identifying those gifts of people, those strengths. It's unleashing their potential. It's getting them to own their stories of who they are and what has happened for them, in order to be the best versions of themselves and serve humanity, the earth, and whoever is in need, because I think that's our deepest rooted desire is to be in service, truly be in service. So
yeah, absolutely. I love that. So for Chris, what do you desire most in your own life?
Fulfillment, joy. Those are just words, but I have two kids, that 16 and 10 that I just adore. Cuddles with my little one, she's 10 and I keep saying, I'm going to keep you little. Don't grow up anymore. Stop eating. Quality time with my wife. I just love when we get to embark on journey space. I love working with people. I just literally got off the phone a minute before worked with a couple, helping them with their marriage. There's a fulfillment that I get and I really cherish right now, because, when I used to be in front of like 300-400 people a week before the shutdown, personally, and teaching classes and working with individuals and so on. And then that all went away and I kind of needed the reset for about a year. And now it's like, oh, wait a minute, that 2021, I think, was more difficult for me coming out of this. And now it's like, oh, this is what my soul desires. Like it craves working with people and being around people and dancing in this flow of this roller coaster of life, So that's the long of it, but that's essentially it. So we could probably go on for the next 45 minutes with that. But,
probably. Yeah. I love the word fulfillment. That's my word for 2022 that I chose. And, so one of the things that I noticed in your profile when I was reading it, getting to know you through words, was it's from the inside out. And 100%. So, we always seek these things that we want in our life that we want to experience, but it's about creating it from the inside first and waking up every morning and just feeling fulfilled, no matter what our reality is, or feeling that connection, that joy, whatever it is that we're looking for.
Well, you hit on something really interesting that I think most people don't even look at a lot of the times. You're like, I'm creating this today. It's a co-creation. It's an intention of the day. And I know we hear that in yoga all the time. What's your intention? And most people just kind of, oh, well, I don't know. Or they don't think about it. But it's true.
Yeah.
If you can create that deliberate intention on a daily basis, right, on how you really want to move through the day, dance through the day, be in the day, the universe hears that. Right. If you're in this gray area of, oh, well, I could be this. I don't want to be that. I don't want to do this. Well, the universe doesn't hear the don't. Right. Like, where do you want to go? Like, be really clear. Yeah. Like you said, fulfilled for 2022. Yes, I want to be fulfilled and happy. Yeah. Right. I want to vibrate on the highest vibration possible. Right. I'm going to eat and support myself. I'm going to work out, or train my body, do yoga, eat the right kinds of foods so that I can do this. So it's a matter of not only stating it, but it's getting into action. The universe responds to your action and deliberateness throughout the day. Yes. So being conscious and present with that is essential. And again, it's easier said than done, but this is part of the work we get to do with our clients is giving them the tools and watching them step into that so that they can actually see the results and feel the results.
Yeah. Oh, totally my language. Yes. I knew we were friends for a reason. So let's talk about unity consciousness. Unity consciousness is this concept that is fluid, that every single guest I've ever asked this question has a different definition. I'm curious what unity consciousness means to you.
The very first time I was in a journey space where I felt this connection was the first time I felt it. And how I would express that is I felt as one with every single person around me, with the trees, with the earth, with the energy flowing through me. I knew in having a conversation with somebody what the root of that conversation was. I could feel what that person needed, even if they said they were fine and there was a deeper struggle going on. It's a connection to instincts, to heart, to soul. It's being able to take off the mask, to remove the layers and let your soul shine so that everything is in flow in this beautiful dance. So no matter what that is.
I love that definition. Totally. It's good.
I've never answered that question before, but I know what it is.
I love it. It's so good. So how do you see your business evolving with your desire for unity consciousness and, stepping into this new paradigm? How do you see your business and being an entrepreneur evolving in that sense?
Yeah. Well, I think it's just taking what I'm doing now and putting it more on a global level, right? It's being able to collaborate with different people. Like I know, and I learned this lesson in a really, not too long ago, was I can't do it all on my own. Right. So it's partner up with people like you and other coaches and organizations and retreat venues and being and speaking on other people's stages or creating my own stage and having people do that and speaking to me, being on other podcasts, creating my own podcast. I think it's the abundance mentality. Right. And I know back in the day, early of being in the fitness industry 25 years ago, it was like, no, I have that client or I have that client and that's mine and mine. No, the abundance mindset is there's enough for everybody. We have 7 billion people on this earth. And some of those people, a lot of those people are ready to hear and step into their own power. They just have to find that right person who they can connect to. So it may not be me, and that's okay, but somebody's going to probably relate to you more than they might relate to me or connect to me more than it's our stories that we own. And the ability to share and own those stories is what's going to speak to the world. Like really owning and going, this happened for me. And then getting that out there on this global level so that we can really make an impact and leave this place better than we found it.
I love those words. This happened for me, not to me. Yeah.
That's right.
So powerful. So powerful.
Ownership versus victim. Right? That's the big difference right there.
Yeah. Own your shit.
That's right. That's right.
What kind of rituals or habits do you have in place for yourself to stay devoted to unity consciousness?
This morning I woke up, big smile on my face, little cuddle with my wife. Had my lemon water, coffee. I drink coffee. Went out, stepped into the earth, got rid of whatever didn't serve me last night. Any dreams, any negative vibrations. I could just ground it. A little harder for you in the snow right now, I think, right? Than in Los Angeles.
Actually.
Right. Free write for a couple pages and then meditation and movement. And just to really take that time for me and really making sure that's there, so that I can be the best parent I can be. I love sauna. I have a sauna right here. Hit that 4 or 5 times a week, cold showers, cold plunge. Those things really bring me inside myself. It's really getting uncomfortable within those things so that I can connect to the person that I am. So, and when I do that, that allows me to be a better husband, father, business person, just all around man, friend. So guide, facilitator, that's what's needed so that I can really deeply connect. So
yeah, I love that. And Rebel Radio has been live for 2 years, and I've been asking this question of every guest, and the common thread is a morning routine. Of setting your day up for success and whatever that looks like. And everybody's morning routine is different, but just really allowing yourself to set that strong intention in the morning with the magic sauce.
Somebody asked me yesterday, they go, well, isn't that selfish when you're spending so much time on yourself? Right. And I said, no, that's self-love.
Exactly.
Right? If I'm asking, and I ask this of all my clients, on a scale of 1 to 10, how fulfilled are you? And they're saying I'm a 4 or 5. Well, then that's not good enough, because you're not giving all of yourself to your business, your family. How do we get you to a 10?
Yeah.
If we're believing in this abundance overflow and everyone else gets what's in the saucer, right? That overflows from the teacup. That's abundance right there.
Yeah.
And I believe that we all can be overflowed on a regular basis if we put the work into ourselves, into self-love.
Yes, 100%. We cannot be fully of service if we're not taking care of ourselves first.
Yes.
Yeah. Beautiful. So we've alluded to this conversation quite a bit throughout the show. Here at Rebel Radio, we love to talk about wealth. And wealth is another one of those concepts that every guest has a different definition for. Mm-hmm. What does wealth mean to you?
I think wealth, the word freedom just came in, right? Mm-hmm. It's funny because I was on this podcast, they called it wealth, and they spelled it with wealth, health, and they had the H in there. Mm-hmm. But it's again, we talked to all areas of our life, right? Wealth, yes, financially, I know it's really important to have our finances in place so that we can do the things and have autonomy and be able to give back, and have that relationship with money that's healthy and clean. So that's one. Wealth within spirituality is taking the time and making the time, right, so that we do our morning routines so that we can be the best, right? Taking the time to move, right? I'm going swimming right after this so that I can open up my body and feel good and get into the water, right? Personal relationships, right? What's wealth in personal relationships? Well, first I'm looking at myself, and then I'm looking at how am I with my son? Do I need to have a talk? My wife, we going on a date night tonight. Yes. My daughter, I got a date with her over the weekend, right? Aww. So these little things that I think are vital to putting these types of energies or these deposits in our bank account, is how we put it metaphorically. Yeah. Those are deposits in our bank account. And when we make those actions and we take that time, then we can withdraw a little bits when we want. So it's not just about the money, it's about all those areas and seeing how we make these deposits.
I love that definition. It's a bank account of life. It's so good.
That's right. That's right. So.
And how cute that you're taking your daughter on a date. I love that. So cute.
Daughter daddy date. Yes.
Right? Yes. So important. I lost my father at the age of 16. So to me, that's just so special to be able to spend that time with her and just soak it up. Soak it up.
Yes, I am. Thank you. Thank Beautiful. You. Sorry to hear that.
It happened for me, not to me.
There you go. There you go.
So what is something that you wish every entrepreneur knew?
Success, it means nothing without fulfillment and happiness.
Right?
I have so many, living in Los Angeles, I have so many clients that I've worked with who have money and they're enough for their kids and their kids to be okay. Mm-hmm. And the one common theme I see is once they reach that level of success, I ask them that same question: how fulfilled are you? Right. And if they're being honest with me, usually it's lower than they intend, unless they're putting that time in. So as you grow your business, as you embark on whatever it is you're going to embark on, make sure you're checking in with yourself, asking yourself, am I fulfilled? Am I happy, along with this drive to be successful? Because the success is important, and but at the same time, those other two things need to go parallel with it. And unfortunately or fortunately, I'm usually coming in there when the success is built, but the other things aren't playing into along with that. So and I get an opportunity to look at that, no matter where it is. But even with young entrepreneurs, it's let's take that time. Let's put that into our business plan. Mm-hmm. Let's make sure that all of those things are getting met.
Yeah. As a recovering workaholic, I understand that one very well. So I'm
100%.
so passionate about my work and I love what I do. I was forgetting those other pieces of my life and couldn't
Yes.
figure out why I was so miserable. Well, that
Mhm.
was pretty easy to figure out once I took a look at the big picture, right? And
Right.
our relationships are important. Our health is important. If we don't have
Mhm.
our health and we're just working, 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 that's not success. That's
No.
not success at
No.
all. So yeah, I
No.
love
I
that.
think a lot of people are like, well, if I get sick, I'll just put it in after the fact in pharmaceuticals or medical. Well,
No.
just take the time to put it in now.
Yeah.
Take it, put it up front. It's the
Yeah.
prehab before you need rehab later.
I love that. That's good. That's good. So, if you could share anything with our audience about what's happening in the world, I don't want to
Mm.
name names or say anything, but what would you
Uh,
share with our audience to help support the mental and emotional well-being of our audience?
mm. What's happening in the world? You just like you said, I just tapped into all the energies. Now I've got to
Mhm.
bring myself back in.
And
Um,
breathe.
and take a breath.
Yeah.
So, you know, we are responsible for our own personal growth, for
Yeah.
our own happiness, right? Getting into taking the time for ourselves is what freedom is all about, right? Freedom is an inside job, and we have tendency to look for that envelope to show up, or that person to come into our lives to save us, or whatever the case may be. And the fact of the matter is, if that's what you're searching for, an external superhero, however that looks,
Yeah.
um, it's a fantasy,
Mhm.
right? Because you're all at some point you're going to have to look at you. And
Mhm.
if we can take that moment, take that beat now and say, you know what, this is up to me. And as I do the work on myself, other people around me are going to do the work, whether they tell me they're doing the work or not, right? I'm taking that responsibility for me first, and that gives other people permission. As I heal, that gives others the ability to heal or grow or find their power, or however you want to put it. But it's
Mhm.
an inside job, and we just need to look in the mirror or shut our eyes and see what's going on within. So
Yeah. Ah, love that answer. Chris, I feel
mm.
like I could talk to you all day, hours and hours and hours, but we're on a time schedule.
You're gonna have to lengthen this show. Come on. I like it. Short and sweet and powerful. I love it.
I get that
Thank you.
from every guest. It goes by
Yeah,
so fast.
it
But as
does.
always, we end the show with one last question.
Mhm.
What do you dream of for the world?
Ah, I already said it, but internal freedom.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. It's just really waking up on a Monday morning and go, I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose.
Yeah.
And let's go live that purpose. Let's get excited for what we get to do today.
Yes, please.
It
Thanks so much for being on the show today, Chris.
is absolutely my pleasure. Thank you. Beautiful to meet you.
You too.